For us white Americans
This is
need
just
to
saying.
repent,
This is Kyra Pierce. Like,
acknowledge the
comment,
lies that
subscribe
we have taught,
for educational
acknowledge
purposes
our
only.
value system of equality. It is not here, and it does not include our black brothers and sisters. And we need to change, and we need to change now. Thanks for your time. Blessed.
White person would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society. Please stand. You didn't understand the directions.
This is what they mean.
But if you white folks
Make
want to
America
be
great
treated the way
again.
blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen.
One of the craziest parts about being black, navigating white spaces, is how white people will try to like size you up, and it'll be by way of like seemingly innocuous questions, but obviously if you're used to this happening like for a long portion of your life, you can like identify it pretty early. This weekend for New Year's, a friend of mine who's Hispanic invited me to like hang out with some of his friends. I didn't have anything else going on. I recently moved to Denver. I'm always trying to like make new friends, so I'm like down or whatever. And the thing about me, I've been in sales for 15 years, so if you don't like me, it's a concerted effort. Like, I know I have first interactions down. I can talk to anybody about anything. So if you don't like me, it's usually a concerted effort. Me and my friend walk in. He introduced me to like 4 of his friends. One is a couple. I'm talking to the couple. I had went snowboarding the day before, talking to them
For
about how,
educational
like, you know,
purposes
studying in this
only.
little town,
Like,
you know,
comment,
they
subscribe.
like
This
3
is
hours talking to
just
friends,
saying.
like yada yada yada. And then when I tell you, out of thin air, after like 10 minutes of this story, he literally out of complete thin air was like, "What do you do for a living?" And I literally can't stand that question, because it's usually at like times where I was like, "Okay, what are you trying to like determine how much respect to give me right now?" The rest of the night goes on, more friends end up coming into the bar, and I end up talking to another couple. The girl out of the couple is really cool, and her boyfriend is within earshot. And I'm telling her the story of how I met this friend. I was like, "Yeah, we were admiring each other's cars, da da da." She asked, and mind you, I had been talking to her for probably like a solid 5 to 7 minutes. Her boyfriend was just sitting there silent, never engaged. And I was like, "Yeah, I have this car, he has that car." And as soon as, and my car is like, if you don't know cars, my car means nothing. My car is just a car. But if you know cars, like I have a car that like people are like, "Oh shit," it's like that type of car. And once I told her what type of car I have, his head had not talked to me the whole time, and I literally have this screenshot from his head snatching around and like looking me dead in my face, like once I said what kind of car I have. And he then proceeded to like engage me in conversation, and we were talking about that. And I'm like, that was just such a weird interaction, and basically like ignore me the whole time. And then when you find out I have a nice car, then you're interested in having conversation with me. I have a ton of stories like these, but I don't know, it's just a really weird experience to constantly have happen. I literally have another viral video on my page where the same thing just happened earlier this week when I was on the ski. All the time on the ski lift, people were always trying to ask me qualifying questions to low-key like determine how can I afford to be there. And it's like the weirdest thing ever.
Wow, this man just said the quiet bite out loud, and he wasn't sugarcoating. He admitted that from politics to economics, from policy to media, the system was never designed to favor black liberation in mind.
It wasn't.
Never designed with black
The
liberation.
laws are not
And,
designed for
that's
us.
not
It's designed to
new us,
protect
it's
them.
not new to black people, and a lot of black people knows this. That's historical, that's biblical. Think back to Pharaoh, the example he has just given. Think back to Pharaoh and the Israelites. Pharaoh didn't care about their pay. He saw them as labor, tools, and a threat to his power if they ever got free. And that's how empires think.
Yeah, they do.
use, They control,
They do.
humanize.
They do.
And black Americans think that we as Africans, we don't care about them. And we don't know how they have been surviving, or we don't know the struggle they've gone through, but not all of us.
That's
Most
it, not all of
some
us.
of us knows the real struggle that you are going through. And we think of ourselves as Africans, for example. If Africans here, we are going through hell. The white man is creating chaos here in Africa, and he doesn't live here. Some of us think, what if we are living with the same man in the same house. What are these people going through? What are black Americans going through? And we understand you are going through hell. And this white man has said it. And does this sound familiar in today's system?
Yes, it does.
Especially the
Very
West
familiar.
operates the same way. It profits off black labor,
Amen.
black culture and creativity,
Amen.
while denying black lives full humanity. And they call themselves aliens. There's a video where a white man said that they're aliens. The white system is living off the black people back. Let's call black America. The culture, the music culture, everything.
Everything.
Black people are paying huge taxes
Amen.
to service the life of some white people. Even when we rise, they react like Pharaoh, with fear, suppression, and manipulation. That's not paranoia. That's not paranoia. It's a pattern.
It is. It's a pattern.
To continue to put their legacy straight. It's a pattern to continue oppressing black people. It's a pattern to avoid or to make sure black people do not climb that ladder. Because
That's it.
this white man has said, when black people went to America, we were taken as slaves. And it was that black people should be here as slaves and should remain as slaves. When black people started rising, when black people started fighting for freedom and liberation, and in some way they got that freedom, they started finding ways to suppress this. And this part, many people don't talk about it.
They
do
don't.
not admit that as black people, we were taken in the West as slaves.
That's
and
it.
we were supposed to live as slaves. Each time we try to raise our head, they gone us, go back to the slavery.
That's
And
it.
That's why we always say we find our own roots where we were humans, where we could live as humans. And like this white brother said, just like the Israelites, we are not staying in Egypt forever.
That's
You
it.
don't know that.
Facts.
Just like
Facts.
Israelites in the Bible, black people are not staying in America forever. Israelites did not stay in Egypt forever. That system can't hold us down forever. It's not about moving out of America. It's about everything is going to change. And history always shifts. Pharaoh fell, empire fall, the oppressed rise. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Empire will fall. The oppressor will fall. And the oppressed will rise. We need to have hope. We need to continue fighting. Salute to this brother who told the truth.